Welcome to the Metal Prognosis. My name is Lee, and on today's Pedal to the Metal, we are looking at the Caline. Which one's this one? The Pure Sky Overdrive. So let me unbox this and get this out so we can have a look. Pure Sky. They weren't wrong with the colour. That's a great blue colour they've got. So yeah, I've never used any of the Caline products before, so this is going to be interesting. I've seen lots of people on social media rave on about this, so I'm definitely keen to give this a shot. Like in all my pedal to the metal videos, we'll put this to a camera, dial in a nice distortion with it, and then I'll compose a little jingle with it and share it with you, and we'll have a chat about it afterwards. So let's get this set up and see how this Pure Sky sounds. All right, now I've got everything set up. Grab my Jackson guitar here. Just like all my pedal to the metal videos, this is what it sounds like, clean. Now I know no one cares about what clean sounds like, but it's just a nice point of reference to use so you know what it sounds like before I actually engage it, because what we do care about is when we engage it, which is exactly what we're going to do now. So we've got the treble and the bass just set at high noon or 12 o'clock, just straight up. So let's turn it on. And oh, nice blue light with the blue pedal. I like the contrast there. So we shouldn't have any sound at the moment. Which we don't. So let's get the volume up to, I don't know, halfway, same as the bass and treble. I just don't want to start with the bass and treble down fully low because it'll just sound muffled and crap. And we want to give this pedal the best chance it has of sounding decent. I do like that. I'll give it a little bit more volume. I like when you turn on a pedal and you get its characteristics straight away. So we haven't even touched the gain yet, and we're already getting some dirt and some of its own characteristics and personality, which is what you want in the pedal. So let's give it a little bit more volume. So even giving the volume gives it a bit more of a push as well, which is good. Now let's push the gain a bit and see what we get. That's got a lot of grunt to it. Let's push the gain higher. Fully crank it. Pull the gain back a bit. And pull the bass back a bit and get the treble a little bit higher. Let's see if we can just clean it up just a tad. Yeah, I'm not minding that actually. That's sounding pretty cool. So I dialed back the gain a little bit, then just tweaked it enough before I felt it broke up the sound a little bit too much. I've really pushed the treble and taken out a bit of bass. Don't know if I need that much bass out, but definitely having that level of treble gives it that little bit more bite, which I like. Let's add the bass back in and just see. Yeah, I just feel having a little bit any more bass than that kind of drowns out the tone just a tad bit too much. And especially because in a moment, I'm going to be doubling up on the guitar, so having one on the left and one on the right speaker, which means it's going to emphasize all those bottom tones. So I don't want it too much because then it's just going to be way too muddy. Not sounding too bad at all. Not minding it at all. So I'll take a bit of time away from the camera now, compose a little jingle. Then I'll share it with you all in the usual Brady Bunch setup that I have with all the different takes in the different windows. I'll add bass and drums, and then we'll have a chat about it afterwards to see what we think about it and how it all fits in together. So, in saying that, sit back, continue relaxing, and hopefully continue enjoying, because I hope you're enjoying it so far. And I'll meet you on the other side where we can have a chat about it more. Time for my final thoughts on the Pure Sky by Caline. It's overdrive pedal here. Yeah, as I said earlier, I heard a lot of talk about this on social media. So yeah, I'm happy I got a chance to get my hands on one and give it a shot, because it's the first time I've tried using anything from this brand. Let me run through all the dials first before I give an overall. The treble and the bass, I had to push them pretty extreme to try and help clean up the sound a bit. Now that could be a combination of my guitar that I was using or whatever. And to keep in mind, we did put this under the spotlight and how we do all our pedals to the metals. So might not have needed that much extreme EQing on the pedal if we're going through an amp head and actual speakers. Because they'll have those characteristics that would have to work with. So the fact that I had to do that, I'm not really overly concerned about. There's no alarm bells going off at all, the fact that I had to do that. The gain was pretty interesting on this, I felt, because even when I maxed it out, it started to break a little bit, but nowhere near what other pedals normally do when I crank it Normally, if you crank it full, like 95% of other distortion pedals I have, it breaks up the sound that much. It's not unlistenable, but definitely you can't define each note what you're playing. And you definitely lose that clarity. Where this, I didn't feel like it lost too much of it all. I felt like it just sat a little bit better when I rolled it back a bit, but I didn't need to, so to speak. Let's talk about the jam now before I go into overall. Just thinking in my head the list of things I want to talk about with this. Doubling up on the guitars. While I was actually playing it and jamming through with the drums and bass, it didn't feel that bad. It was a lot. There's a lot more unwanted hiss that I didn't realize that was there until I listened back in the actual mix, doubling up on the guitars, because that really amplified how much hiss was coming through here. Now, there are noise suppressors and reducers pedals you can use in different techniques. So I'm not really that concerned about it. It's just something worth noting. But we did push it pretty hot considering we're putting this under the spotlight. So not a huge bad thing, but just something worth noting. I think the distortion sounded better when I doubled up on the guitars compared to when I had it by itself. Yeah, I don't know what else to really say about it other than that. I decided to put in just a couple of not so clean chords near the end there, just so you can hear how well it handles more unconventional chords. Because I think it held up really well with those, which is good. Dialing in the actual pedal, I felt like as soon as I turned it on, I liked, and I think I mentioned this during it as well, I liked how I got something out of it straight away, which is really good. And it didn't take long to actually get a decent sound out of this as well, which is good. So I'll be keen to hear how this actually sounds matched up to either my Marshall amp or my Orange or something like that, to see how its different characteristics will blend together. So I think the hype that I heard from this, I can kind of see where they're coming from. You know, it's not I don't see this as a wow, mind blowing type of distortion, but it's definitely a solid one, and more relatable is the price. These are definitely more on the cheaper side. So to get this decent sound out of not breaking the bank is definitely a good thing. So yeah, overall, I don't mind it. It's not too bad at all. But like all my pedal to the metal videos, actually any videos I really do and put together, I'd like to know your thoughts. How do you feel while I was dialing it in? Do you think I went a little bit too far on the EQ? Do you think I should have pushed the gain a little bit more? Or do you think I pushed it too much? Whatever your thoughts are, I definitely want to know it. How do you feel it sounded in the band mix with bass and drums and doubling up on the guitars compared to how it sounded isolated? Yeah, definitely let me know your thoughts on this. And if you ever used one, what were your experiences with them and how did you like to get the best out of it? Because I know adding pedals before and after this to try clean it up, and you're going to get a better sound to have more to work with. But the purpose of this video is to put it under the spotlight and to see how well it handles just on its own. So definitely keen to hear if you have added other stuff, what have you added to spruce it up and spice it up a bit and give it a bit of sparkle. So yeah, definitely keen to hear all your thoughts on it. And with that, I'll do my sign off. So whether this video is in the foreground or the background, I absolutely appreciate your company and love having these conversations with you. And I love having the conversations not just in the comments here, but also on my Facebook page too. So on both platforms, I've thoroughly enjoyed all our chats we had, and hopefully we can keep it up and have some more. So yeah, the Pure Sky Overdrive. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, and I really look forward to chatting with you again next time, please stay safe.